Sorry, I had a little technical difficulties there. Crystal Plummer here from Pannos Marketing. I'm kind of the content gal at Pannos. I know we've talked about a lot of topics recently. This is our fifth live stream, and today we're going to be talking about why it's important to consistently post on your social media platforms. So, and how you can do that. So first off, we're going to talk about algorithms. A little bit above my pay grade for the most part, but basically the basic concept is if you're not posting enough, then your posts aren't showing up on people's feeds. So basically, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If you're not posting, it's not showing up. Then also, if you're not posting, then people aren't able to engage with your content. So then they're not seeing content on their feed either. A good way to look at it is, you follow X amount of accounts, but how many of those accounts do you see content from? It's impossible to see it from everyone, but obviously it's going to be the ones that post the most. Another way to look at it, I kind of came up with this weird analogy. Maybe it's not good, but you're on the basketball team and you go to all 5 practices this week and your teammate only goes to 2. You play the whole game, they play not even a full quarter. So it's kind of like you put in the work, so you got that, extra playing time in the newsfeed kind of thing. I don't know if that's really a good analogy, but that's how I think about it. Another thing is perception. Your followers, aka your customers, they expect to hear from you consistently. And as a community financial institution, this is a perfect way to demonstrate to your commitment to your followers and prove that you have something to offer. So like you don't want them to think that, you've fallen off the face of the earth. You don't want them to think that you don't care, especially, we're going through some pretty hard times right now, and it's important that they're hearing from you. And as a pillar of your community, what better way to then be out there in social media? So those are a couple of reasons why it's important to stay consistent. I mean, you hear it all the time. Consistency is key, no matter what it is, whether you're, like working out or dieting or whatever it is, like you want to be consistent, practice, whatever. So how do we actually do that though? So in this topic, so some tips for building that consistent social media presence. First and foremost, you want to make sure you're on the best platform for your financial institution. You don't want to just be like, okay, we're going to start opening an account on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, everything. And then realize, the people we're trying to reach on social media aren't on Twitter or LinkedIn, or they're not on Instagram. So it's really important that you identify what platform aligns with the demographic you're trying to reach and also aligns with the kind of content you're comfortable posting, which then leads me into content calendars. You want to build a content calendar. You can do this monthly, bi-weekly, weekly. I prefer monthly because, it's already June 3rd and the months are flying by, so I like to have stuff done a month in advance, so that way I'm not, stressing week to week. It's also important to know you're not married to your content calendar. If something better comes along, you have these topics laid out, but something better comes along and you're like, oh, well, we already were planning on posting, this checking promotion we're running, but if something else comes better along, so say, Betty from your main branch is retiring and you want to, write a farewell post, you should do that. And that can take the place of it. You can save that post for another day. So it's just important to know that a content calendar is to keep you on track, but it's not something you should feel married to. It also helps with determining the cadence of like how often you want to post. It helps you set goals. Again, like when we say consistency, I don't mean excessive. Quality still is important here. You don't want to just be posting and alienating any good content you're putting out there. So quality over quantity still is important here. So what kind of content are you putting in your content calendar? It can be educational, whether it's third-party content, or it's branded content, events, are you really active with events? Do you host a lot of events? We have a client that hosts block parties, which is super cool and makes for great content before the event and after. So that's great. We have a lot of clients who like to show their support for the community, whether they're donating to local organizations or charities or they're volunteering. And that's a great thing to promote through social media. some, or even just like fun things. Like maybe your staff dressed up today because it's Halloween, or maybe you're, promoting, I don't know, whatever, social event that's going on, if it's, National Cancer Awareness Day and everyone wears pink, things like that are great to promote. Now, you don't need to include all these types of content in your strategy, but you can definitely sprinkle in whichever ones you're most comfortable with. Um, Also, part of building that consistent presence is reciprocity. You want to make sure that when you're posting, you're engaging with the people who are engaging with your content. So, if someone posts on Betty's farewell post, about her retiring, like it. It doesn't need to be something excessive. You don't need to be, writing novels in the comments. But, if people are engaging with your content, engage back. Let them know that you acknowledge that they're supporting you through social media, and just show them that you appreciate that. It's pretty simple. Lastly, get your staff involved. I know this can be a tough one. I know right now I'm sitting here hosting a live video, and I can tell you right now that it's obviously nerve-wracking. I can even hear the shaking in my voice myself, but it doesn't have to be something that big. You don't have to have everyone like putting their face out there. It can be something as simple as just keeping their eyes peeled and sharing things that are happening at the branches. So whether, John comes in with his new puppy and you get some pictures of that, that makes for great content. Or it's just in general, just communicating, letting them know what's going on, what's happening. Oh, one of our clients brought in this for the branch, or, one of the tellers brought in donuts for everyone. Like, just like little things like that, that kind of just promote your brand and how, like, the personality of your financial institution. It can be stuff that's just that small. So, and it's a great way to get staff involved, and then just sharing that with everyone, whether it's, you set up a email account where everyone can drop this information, whether it's pictures or it's just, a heads up, this is happening. That way, you're in the know, because, as a marketing department, it's impossible that you're going to know everything that's happening in every branch at all times. So having some sort of like mainstream like line of communication is great. And again, if something gets shared and, the puppy came in yesterday, oh, we didn't see the email and now we can't post it because it was yesterday. Wrong. You can post repurpose content, which is a whole nother topic, but you can save it for another day. I mean, there's like, 30 national puppy dog days all the time. Save it for one of those, or just post it the next day. Really doesn't matter. So yeah, just get your staff involved. And I think that's pretty much it. All I have for you guys today. That's a lot of content to digest. We'll definitely be coming at you with some great articles and blog posts to go along with these topics we've been sharing. But that is all I have for you today. And if you have any questions or comments, let us know. This will be saved on our feed, and we're always here if you need help. Have a good one, guys.